Hi, I'm 69 years old. I made $17,500 on one single real estate deal. And I'm going to tell you exactly how it happened because it changed my circumstances more than I ever could have imagined. And so here's how it happened. So I was walking in the park, morning walk, getting some exercise. I came across around the bend. I see straight ahead, I see a house with a big dumpster out front. And since I got into real estate investing, I know what that means. A dumpster full of drywall and windows and stuff being tore out of a house means it's being rehabbed. And that's people that I like to do business with if I can find a deal for them. And so here's what happened. I walked into the house. The construction guys were in there doing tile and AC work, chatted with them about the project, how long they had to go on it, and things like that. And, interesting. I went home, I got on my computer, I looked up to see what the contractor paid for that property, and I was able to look that up. And so it'd be interesting to see how it worked out when he got it all done and what it sold for. About 2 weeks later, I'm walking through the same path. Actually been to the house one other time, so I've been there twice by then. And this time, though, something different happened. Next door, I happened to see this little older woman, 88 years old, that she was putting trash in her trash can on the side of the house. And I, for the first time, actually looked at that house and thought, well, that's the exact same house as this one. This lady's up there in years. There's a chance that this might be an opportunity that house might get sold sometime in the next few years. So I walked over in my walking clothes and knocked on her door, and this really sweet woman came, and she was very short, and she looked up at me, and I says, hey, I know it's out of the blue, but I got a question. Would you ever think about selling this house? And she said to me, yes, I want to move to Tennessee to live closer to my oldest daughter. And then from there, she invited me in. We sat down, we had coffee. She told me a lot about her life story. She showed me that other people had mailed her offers on her house. Somehow people just kind of know because of the condition of the outside of the house, usually. But her daughter was coming into town in just a few days. So I learned that the daughter was actually on the title with her, so I would have to meet with her anyway. And so when her daughter got to town, I called Virginia, and I said, I left a message on her answering machine. She had one of those old-fashioned answering machines from the 80s, and I heard it a couple of times while I was there talking to her the first time, that she didn't pick up the phone very often. She let it go to the answering machine. And so they didn't call back, so the next morning, I went fairly early. I got 4 cups of coffee, and I went and knocked on the door, and the daughter answered the door. She goes, hi, John, we got your message, and we do want to talk to you, but can we do it tomorrow at the same time? We're not ready yet. And so, sure, here's your coffee. And so the next day we had a meeting, and the 4 of us sat around their kitchen table, and we discussed what they wanted to do. The mom wanted to, she's getting advanced in years. She wanted to move to Tennessee to be close to the daughter that can take care of her. The younger daughter wasn't in a position to be able to do much. In fact, she ended up moving with her. And so they both relocated up to be very close, and the family now was all together. And so she asked me what I would offer for the property, and I told her what I thought I could pay for the property. And you always go a little low, give yourself some room. And so they said, okay, we'll think about it. Give us 2 days. I'll get back to you on Thursday, it happened to be. And true to her word, she called me back on Thursday, and she says, we think it's worth closer to $300. And I had offered $250. So I says, well, I'll tell you what we can do. I'll meet you a little closer to what you're wanting to get, and I'd go up to $285 if that's something that you would do. I heard him talk it over for 30 seconds or so, less than 30 seconds, and she got back and she says, yeah, we'll take that. And so I went over, we signed a contract, and now I had a house under contract that I had an equitable interest in. And so when I left, I happened to notice that the general contractor was next door. His truck was there with his signage on his truck. And so I just walked right over and I talked to him. And I said, it looks like you're getting pretty close on this deal. I've been watching it. And I said, you're going to probably need another project. This house is available if it's something you'd be interested in. And lo and behold, he said he would. He says he'd be interested. And so I think it was 2 days later, he went and walked through the house, and he asked me what I wanted, what it would take to buy that house, because I told him I had it under contract. And we agreed that he would pay me $3,025 for that house, which is $17,500 more than I agreed to pay for it. Just a matter of a few weeks, we closed the deal, and I had $17,500 in my pocket. And this isn't about that. That's a great amount of money. That's more than I make in a couple of months sometimes, several months sometimes. But it's about win-win-win situations. You know what? They were actively wanting to move. They didn't know really how to go about it, who to trust, how to do it. And so by able to put those parties together, everybody got something they needed. They got the money they needed. She moved to Tennessee. She bought a nice little house, and she restarted her business at 88 years old, and she was happy as a lark, and the comfortable feeling that her older daughter had now, having her mom close by and her younger sister. And so the contractor, he bought it for less than he paid for the house that he was already doing. And he invested, he took the risk, he put the money into the house, but he made a nice profit when he sold it several months later. And so everybody won. I made a nice check for putting a deal together. Contractor made money doing what he does and kept his crew working. And the seller of the house got what they needed and was able to complete what they wanted to do. And so it feels good to help people do that. So at 69, it's fun to be able to do that and use the skills that I've used in other areas over the years for something that it's more than just extra income. I can do 2, 3 of these a month. I can do as much as I want or as little as I want. If you want to do it, call me. I'll tell you how to do it. The other thing is, if you know of someone that has an aging parent that has a house that they're probably going to have to sell at some point, or they've inherited a house that they don't want to be landlords, or they are landlords and they're tired of being landlords, tired of fixing things, Strant Properties, that's what we do. We deal with people like that, offer them speed and convenience, and it works for everyone involved. Till next time, oh, by the way, next time I'm going to tell you how I did a deal where I made $38,000, $38,700 I think it was, and it didn't cost me much more work and effort than this one did. This one was 3 hours, probably total time. So give me a call or check out the next video.